Embracing the role of a wounded healer. Henry Nouwen said, "Nobody escapes being wounded. We are all wounded people, whether emotionally, physically, mentally, or spiritually. The main question is not how can we hide our wounds so we don't have to be embarrassed, but how can we put our woundedness in the service of others? When our wounds cease to be a source of shame and become a source of healing, we have become wounded healers." Growing up, I thought I had a normal, healthy family. As my siblings and I became adults and started our own lives, little problems started to surface. It grew increasingly difficult for everyone to get along. The facade started to fade. Life was complicated as my younger sisters and I each married too young. I began married life right after high school, 3 weeks before my 18th birthday, and became a parent at just 19. While struggling with dysfunction in my family of origin, I was also trying desperately to support my husband, who was dealing with his own pain. Over the next 22 years, I learned a lot about psychology, personality types, personality disorders, and abuse. I gathered knowledge while searching for answers and understanding. I just wanted to help everyone. My parents' childhood trauma led me to a book about the effects of alcoholism on grandchildren and the dysfunction that often happens as adult children of alcoholics try so hard to create the type of family they never had. I tried to persuade my family to read the book together and do whatever it took to fix our relationships. Then my grandma died and everything fell apart. In our grief, we drifted farther apart. I clung to my husband and children, trying to create happiness and peace in our closed-off life. Unfortunately, things got worse at home as well, and eventually my teens and I had to intervene to stop my husband from physically harming their older brother. After that night, my eyes were open to a truth I had spent 2 decades avoiding. Abuse had been a part of my marriage and had been inflicted on my children. It wasn't physical abuse. There were no black eyes like those my grandma received whenever my grandpa came home drunk, but the emotional scars were there. It took me a few more months to find the courage to choose peace and safety for my children and myself. As a newly single mother, I needed to find a path to a better future for my family. Since my interest in psychology and counseling had increasingly become a passion, I enrolled in an online undergraduate program in psychology. After years of school and trauma recovery, I am excited to be a few weeks away from my goal. I'm looking forward to graduate school and finding a way to turn my wounds into a source of healing.